Well, President Trump says his plans to strengthen the military will help the United States start winning wars again. He wants a 10% increase in defense spending and a new strategy for fighting ISIS. The White House is now reviewing preliminary recommendations from the Pentagon, and Mr. Trump asked for new options for defeating ISIS last month. One of those scenarios puts US troops, boots on the ground, in Syria. Let's get the details now from Pentagon correspondent Barbara Starr. We're also joined by senior international correspondent Arwa Damon, who's here with me in London. Barbara, to you first, and let's talk about tackling ISIS and the options on the table, or military, financial and diplomatic, we understand. Tell us more.
All of that, Hannah, and in fact, they had their first meeting at the White House just yesterday.
For individual countries that receive US aid, the impact of these cuts could be really quite considerable. Our correspondent David McKenzie joins us now from Johannesburg, and senior diplomatic correspondent Michelle Kaczynski standing by for us at the State Department in Washington. Welcome to you both. David, just explain for us what and where exactly these initiatives are that could lose out from any cuts.
Well, at this stage, it's still theoretical because, Hannah, they said that they might pull this funding, but it will have to go into a battle with Congress. So I don't want to get too ahead of the curve here.
Michelle, this letter from 120 retired generals and military leaders in the United States to Congress, will it have any impact whatsoever with the Trump administration and the plans going forward?
It's hard to say at this point. I think that the letter itself was pretty stunning. I mean, to see that number of retired generals and admirals, people like David Petraeus, John Allen, a former CIA director, Michael Hayden, saying things like development and diplomacy alongside a military component are critical to national security.
Sunderland's in Washington for us, and our senior international correspondent Matthew Chance is in Moscow. Sunderland, if there is no special prosecutor into this Russia story, the story still doesn't go away. So is it the case that the Republicans on Capitol Hill are having to decide at the moment whether it's Congress or indeed the media which is going to get to grips with this?
Well, you're absolutely right, Hannah, that this is not going away, regardless if they appoint a special prosecutor or not. Capitol Hill is really, frankly, a flurry with investigations into this.
Matthew, the New York Times, in an article saying that there's some suggestion that the Kremlin is perhaps trying to make hay out of the chaos at the moment, or the perceived chaos, at least, within the Trump administration, within the White House. Is that story being covered at all in the Russian press or touched on at all where you are?
Well, I think it's not actually getting a lot of play as much as it is in the Western press. It seems this idea that the Kremlin is taking advantage of the chaos in Washington for its own ends.
Well, for more on this, let's bring in CNN Money's Maggie Lake, joining us now from the New York Stock Exchange. Maggie, how's it all looking? Down at the moment, but another rally expected?
Oh, yeah, down but not out, Hannah. You really can't put too much stock in these numbers because we have seen day after day, even when we're drifting slightly down at this time, the bulls come back at the end and just tip it into positive territory.
In your parting shots for today, two guys were playing tennis at a park in San Francisco when all of a sudden Serena Williams walked up and decided she would surprise them and ask to play the winner. Well, the moment was captured on Snapchat. Take a look.
Just having a stroll at night, and I'm thinking about asking these guys if I could hit with, just to see their reaction. So I think they are in the middle of playing out points. I'm gonna ask them if I can have the winner.
Oh my goodness! This for real?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Holy crap!
So who won?
I won 2 out of 3. Wow! Oh my god! What the hell?
She's serious.
Well, as you can tell by this video, they were pretty shocked. Williams didn't have her tennis shoes with her, so, like any old pro, she played in her boots. She is, of course, ranked as the top female tennis player in the world, and says the moral of the story is, you never know when she'll show up at a tennis court near you. Fantastic stuff. You wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of a Serena serve unwittingly. I'm Hannah Vaughan-Jones. That was Connect the World. Thanks very much for watching.